As the Commissioner in Public Safety and also as the Mayor of this great town, to me this is all about security, safety for our residents. So this is going to provide access to have some kind of identification. And we are aware we have hundreds of people living in West New York that are not legally in this country. But at the end of the day, we got to protect the town. So by giving them some kind of ID, we're able to, in the word, catalog who's here. So if they commit a crime or if they get stopped, they have some kind of identification. So this is also helping this town, and it's protecting the town also. The young little girl Pichardo, Sheila Pichardo, when she passed away with the accident, we gathered at her house, and there were 20, 30 people in the dark room talking. They were all illegal aliens, and they felt intimidated. They felt frightened to be there with me in that room. And then the thoughts of Senator Menendez saying of how undocumented people feel they're in the dark, and they are in the dark. So this is a way to help them. And again, we're all human beings. We all are born with rights. And this is giving them a little access to have bank accounts. To me, this is what we need to do. And it'll help the community at the long term.
In terms of legalization, citizenship, the only thing that actually it doesn't do anything. What it would do is provide them an ID so that they would go to the next step, which would be to file an individual taxpayer identification number. And at that point, they would be able to work. Should there ever be some type of immigration reform, and if that immigration reform were to come in terms of work-related status, then because they've assimilated into our society by working and paying taxes, then it would help with the reform. But what we're looking to do here is to provide ownership in terms of you have a town ID, and with this town ID, now you feel part of West New York. And by feeling part of West New York, you buy into your town.
Well, this is a system that's being put in place that benefits, obviously, the undocumented people who live in our town, but it also benefits the documented and those, obviously, who are registered to vote. How does that happen? Because if and when something were to happen to an undocumented person who lives in town, West New York, and they do have an identification, be it at a traffic stop, committing a crime, or heaven forbid something were to happen to them, at that point the police officer or an EMT can identify them because they'd have this in their wallet, where otherwise, obviously, they're in no type of system. This is a municipal ID with a photo ID that establishes them as who they are, where they live, etc. And otherwise, an undocumented person does not have any form of formal identification. And so it gives them an opportunity to be part of a system, a municipal system, not a state system, not a county or federal system, but they are in some type of system where they are easily identifiable.
It's very important. Number one, it adds to the safety of our police officers because when we do stop somebody, 9 out of 10 times if they don't have identification, they run because they're afraid that they're going to be deported if we stop them. Which is not necessarily the case. I mean, if they commit a crime, of course, the law enforcement process is going to take place. But if they just fit a description and we stop them without ID, it just complicates the process even more. We have to detain them longer. The ID gives us instant credibility on who they are, so we can contact them at a later date. What it also does too, I have to reiterate that you're not going to be able to get a driver's license with this identification, but if you go to DMV, you're still not going to be able to get an identification. This gives them some form of identification, at least so people know who they are, where they live. And this is a program that can be expanded into the medical faction with, maybe ID for senior citizens, and on the card it could be a swipe code, and you could be able to swipe it into something where we tell you their medical history right away. Easier for EMTs to deal with them on the scene. So this is something that could open the door to a bigger and better process as far as identifications. Again, the mayor commissioners need to be applauded since day one. Safety of the citizens has been their utmost priority, and it remains their priority. And this is a step to keeping people safe. And you know, it's a program that's going to start very soon, and we're still in the process of going over the procedures. We're looking at the New York City program and other communities that may have this program, but this is a win-win for the town of West New York. Yeah, so what's happening January 1st is the new bail reform procedure, in which case bails won't be posted at police stations anymore. If it's a minor crime, it'll go on a summons. And if it's a major crime, it'll go on a warrant, and you'll be sent to the county jail where you'll be detained 24 to 48 hours on a risk assessment program to see, is it safe to allow you to have bail? Is the community safe with you out in the street? If you don't have identification, chances are they're not going to let you out. And so this is a positive too for those that may be arrested. And again, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but if you don't have identification at the county jail, they are not going to let you out.